Hey, I'm Captain Aaron. Welcome to your favorite show, We Trek.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterweave. Its continuing mission: to explore strange new strains, to seek out new samples, to boldly grow where no one has grown before.
Coming up tonight, we have the Space Junk Project TDBDBBV. It's got 25 original songs by yours truly. You can go back a video or so and check out a couple of them for yourself, for your very own selves, in your very own home, for your very own selves as well. Additionally, also 2+ to boot. Okay, so coming up tonight, we have MK Ultra. It Hates Your Face, and fuck you, Wilson, you can't have any, because you won't come on the show. So fuck you, Wilson. So, without any further ado, let's bust this puppy up and see what the heck with the Jaws and Pins of Death and Doom. Jaws and Pins of Death and Doom. My initial results on the MK Ultra Kush are that it fluffs up like really good. That's really nice. Perfect for tonight's joint rolling contest. We're gonna have a joint rolling contest. My co-host Douche Bagok is not here tonight. He is the reigning world champion, world record holdermanship timeism champion for joint rolling. His time is 2.7 seconds. According to the following rules, which I shall now explain thusly. As soon as you engage your pre-prepared pile of product, that's when the timer starts. As soon as your finished doobie lands on the rolling surface out of your hands, the timer stops. You can pre-prepare your pile of pre-prepared product for as long as you wish. You can embellish after the joint is rolled and on the rolling surface as much as you wish, including putting a roach or a filter in, or twisting the ends all nice, or whatever people do with their joints. The timing only happens when the joint is being rolled. So as soon as you disturb the contents of the joint, that's the timer going on. That's what's going on, man. Yeah, that ain't no jive, turkey motherfucker. So, joint rolling contest coming up in 2 to go. I'm not sure what that was. Is this a pass? Is it a pass? I'm gonna call that a pass. Wait a minute. Can you see through the joint to the ends? I know it's kind of a bumpy one up in the middle there, but I'm gonna give this a pass. Not a fail. That's always good when you don't fail, because failing sucks. And it's okay to fail when you need that lesson about how not to fail at that particular thing you're failing at the next time. So it's always a lesson. Failure is always an option, not as a choice, but as an option. If it happens, it happens, but that's okay, because you are good enough. You are smart enough, and people do like you, even though that's not what it's all about. If you're in it for people liking you, I personally probably think you're a shallow, materialistical personalisticness. But in any case, that's what failure is. And we learn from it and we become better people. And stuff. And things. And fuck you, Wilson! I know you were totally listening as you squirm in your chair uncomfortably because it's got that slant in it. That slight little bit of an angle that you can just tell it's there and you can't really quite get comfortable in there. Not like the captain's chair. Woo! Woo! So fuck you, Wilson, you chair. Woo! Woo! So fuck you, Wilson. Woo! Woo! Fuck you, Wilson. Woo! Woo! Fuck you, Wilson. Woo! Woo! Fuck you, Wilson. Can't have any. You can't come on the show. He's refused to come on the show for 3 years now, almost though. 2 years plus. Wait, 3, 4, 5 years. Wilson hasn't come on the show. Computer! How long has it been since Wilson refused to come on the show?
Wilson refused to attend the show first back in 2015. It has been more than 4 years.
Well, there you have it. The computer remembers better than I do. So, before I get started testing this fine-ass MK Ultra, we must do first a interplanetary space particulate scan for the presence of interplanetary harmful particulates like space bestos and space herpes and space AIDS. Spades. That's a funny looking joint. All right, and we'll do a quick scan for bullshit. Nothing. So we're good to go. Let's sterilize the co-host seat, navigator seat from space cooties and shit. Even though we just scanned for them and didn't find any. Scanned for them. You look at my accent? I'm from Canada, eh? Canada. Scan. Let's scan again. Let's do it again. My initial results on the MK Ultra Kush is... That's a mighty decent bud right there. That's pretty cool because it's strong. It gives that expansion effect in the lungs. The relative pressure of your lungs, it's more than the outside pressure. What is he talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm all by myself here and I gotta fill the blank because there's no co-host to fill in half the blank. So I'm just gonna hang out with you guys, with y'all, with you, what's up with you, and smoke this joint here. And get nice and fucking ripped and talk about shit, because that's what it's all about, is talking about shit, my opinion on things, what I think about stuff, what my thoughts are about my opinion. And no, I don't really do that. I just tell you shit because I think some people need to hear some of the stuff that I do say. And if sometimes what I say really offends you, please take the time to let your emotions subside before you actually read what my message is to you. I would really appreciate that because I try and approach people about issues like free speech and I get shut down real fast these days because maybe it's a little abrasive the way I go about bringing the issue to the surface, but it doesn't matter to me who or what age or gender or whatever a person is. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is when anyone of any age or anything decides to talk about banning words. And that really gets to me because absolutely I know there's certain words that just shouldn't be said because of their historicity and the ingraining of a reaction to those words has been in place for multiple generations. I understand that, but what these people are talking about is regular speech. And I'm of the opinion there's an agenda behind that. I used to call it the agenda, but what it actually is a globalist agenda that's using people on the internet and in media to push their agenda. Now, this doesn't mean all people are part of this agenda by any means, and that's scary. That's beyond the normal leave me be in my way of life. That's a little bit beyond that because it doesn't line up with their agenda, which isn't one of acceptance. It isn't one of tolerance. It isn't one of diversity either. The people who want to control speech, they want to control human beings. They want power over other human beings. They've been promised power by the agenda people who are globalists. They're globalists in their heads. They want to rule the fucking world in a nihilistic, psychopathic manner that's just insane. Because when they're done with these groups, with these proactive groups, when they're done banning these words, nobody's going to speak out about what comes next. And that is the actual agenda. And just like historically in previous wars, what do they do with the people that they use to pave the way for their invasions? They kill them all. They line them up against the wall and shoot them. In the case of Libya, when they liberated Libya from Muammar Gaddafi, who, if you do the research, probably wasn't that bad of a guy. If you do the research, he ran a very effective country and people were understanding what it was like to be free, what it was like to be prosperous, and the rest of the African nation of countries would have taken notice and applied that model to their own places, their own locations, their own zones of influence, and that country could have broken out of its bondage. But no, can't have that. So the globalists went in there and shut it down. They used the very same tactics that they're using here, but they did it quicker. They ended up using ISIS to go in there, and who did they kill first? The Christians and the What does that say? Well, first they had to invade the country with an agenda so that people couldn't speak out, so that people couldn't reach the far edges of the world with their messages because they didn't have free speech, because somebody decided to support banning words, because somebody decided to declare that certain words that hurt people's feelings are the same level as physical assault. People are now feeling like they've been physically assaulted when they hear words they're not comfortable with. And that's a shame, because the world is full of information and events and happenings and words and opinions that not everybody else likes. And it's my job as an individual in this environment to filter out what I don't want to hear and not try and stop it. I mean, of course, there's crimes that can be committed with words. There can be threats. You can incite riots or violence. Those are crimes because they lead to the harm of another human being. I don't hear the word emotion in that sentence. The word emotion is not in there. If someone's emotions get stepped on, that's too bad. That person can choose not to listen. And if you're listening so far, thanks very much, because I have a really hard time putting these kinds of things into words, because I realize I'm in a place where there's a lot of people that have been picked on for a long time, and that sucks, and I feel for you. I mean, whatever your life is, whatever your chosen lifestyle is, do it with all you have. Consequences or not. Personally, I believe there's consequences for harmful behavior, but that's another story. What we got going on now here is an attempt by a global government to suppress free speech in the nations that it wants to overrun with third world conditions. And that's done in a variety of ways. But that's not going to be done tonight, because I got halfway through that MK Ultra joint and I got all super serious all up on your ass and stuff, right? So fuck you, Wilson. I'm going to get out of here. And where am I going to go? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm just in this metal tin can floating around in the middle of space. Hey, you know what? So are you, except you're on a ball of mud in a bag of meat. Yeah, if you've listened this far, you're gonna listen to the rest of it, I hope. Check this out. You're a soul. You're a spiritual being. You're an eternal soul. And you're stuck in a temporary bag of meat that's got all these amazing things and whatever. And you're stuck on this ball of mud that's got fire inside. Fire inside. If you take the globe, it's like 8,000 miles across, and you shrink that down to 8 feet, and you draw that on your wall, it would go to the ceiling, right? If you got a globe scaled down like that, the thickest part of the crust is 1/4 inch. Under that is fire. And under that, nobody knows. It's either hollow or it's solid. But think about that. you're on a ball of dirt that's flying around this plasma electrical weird thing called the sun. Think about that. You're not going to last long in the scheme of things, if you know what I mean. Think about your future, not just your future here, economically, or, socially, or physically, or whatever. Think about all 4 areas of your life. You've got your physical life, keep healthy. You've got your social life. You got to keep in contact with people. Not this Facebook shit that keeps people divided and apart and isolated. You've got your mental capacities. You can lift weights with your mind by learning stuff. Keep learning stuff. You can learn more stuff. Because you've learned more stuff, you can learn even more stuff. It's just like the weight thing. You can lift a certain amount of weight, put on a few more stacks, you can lift that much more after a while. And you've got your spiritual. Don't forget your spiritual aspect. These are the 4 main areas of our lives we need to focus on and pay attention to. The spiritual end of things, everything else hinges on it. If your spiritual life is okay, then the rest of those things will follow. For me, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto me. And it's so true. If you're looking at something bigger, then everything falls into place. Then that's great. Then you can step back and look at all this stuff and realize the truth in the most simple things, like a living cell and all of that awesome stuff. So different kind of a show today, huh? So in any case, I'm Captain Aaron, and thanks again for watching your favorite show, The Wee Trek.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterweave. Its continuing mission: to explore strange new strains, to seek out new samples, to boldly grow where no one has grown before.